actually. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we are. This is James with Minor Illusion, and today we are playing Fate Core. We'll be using the Venture City supplement for Fate Core, and we'll be playing Fate Superheroes. This is probably going to be a long-running series of short one-shot or two-shot games, all set in a collective universe. Right now, we're doing kind of introductory adventures, and today we have three superheroes. Introduce yourselves, Archie.
I am playing Sir Slipshod. He is a rusty old suit of armor. He's a go-getter. He loves to help people. That's all he wants to do. He's just maybe not the best at anything, really. But he has a big secret. And I do mean big.
Okay. John.
This John? I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to be playing, I'm John Lamb. I'm going to be doing Alley Cat, and he's a shape changer, and he changes into domestic cats, and every time he changes, it's a completely different cat, and he is super fast at it, and other than that, he's a parkour guy, and very aloof, and feels out of place around humans, and more comfortable being a cat.
Okay. And last but not least, we have...
Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm going to be playing the character of Control V. He was a captain of a college football team, but he got into a accident in the lab and sprayed himself with some chemicals, and now he has the power to duplicate himself endlessly. So he basically abuses that power to get rich and famous.
Okay. All right. So to give a little bit of background, the year is 2117, and the Earth is at peace. The peace was bought with the lives of superheroes like yourselves, and the world is basically run by artificial intelligences. Human beings, they decided to give AIs the power to run things, since they had messed things up so thoroughly in the past. And now, basically, the world is automated, and humans have stepped back and start living lives of luxuries. So in this world, superheroes are considered relics, a thing of the past that will hopefully die out soon. You are all members of the GSA, the Global Superhuman Authority, which is administered by an artificial intelligence known as Arthur. Arthur is a very mysterious figure. He's, at least all artificial intelligences have some physical form, whether it be a human-shaped body or a monitor or even, on a wristband, that sort of thing. But Arthur's not really been seen by any of you, ever. The situation is that you're given your missions, you are sent to various parts of the globe. You rarely work with the same people twice. And in between missions, you are held, basically captive, in what's known as the Rock. The Rock is a large chunk of the Earth that, through gravity stabilizers, floats above the planet and can, in the upper atmosphere, and can be positioned at any point around the Earth, given time. It moves quite slowly. The point of the Rock is that it is a movable weapons base if a war or anything truly dangerous was to happen on Earth. But the Rock is also a prison. And the name The Rock, of course, comes from Alcatraz. It is basically Alcatraz, although in this case you are many feet above the ground. So, tell me quickly, which of you were volunteers for the GSA? And volunteer means that you chose to join rather than be taken in by them? And who of you were reluctant workers for the GSA?
I was a very enthusiastic volunteer.
Okay.
Do they have a decent Wi-Fi connection on the rock?
Oh, very much so.
Yes, yes. I joined.
Each one of you, whether you like it or not, has a microchip connection to Arthur, which of course will allow you to connect to the net.
Okay, so I'm basically using my stay here as a self-promotion stunt to get as many followers on Instagram and other social media platforms as I can.
Sounds good.
Alley Cat was a subject of an early trauma as a childhood, and he was a ward of the state, so he was forced into the program, and then as an adult, he felt out of place around people, so he volunteered to stay.
Okay. So, quickly, Archie, your character, what does he, so Slipshot, what does he do in between missions?
Well, first, in between a mission, he'll sit around in the trash pile. But after he's sitting around in the trash pile, he'll just like find a nook and stand there like a suit of armor and pretend to be a suit of armor.
Okay.
Unless someone talks to him, he'll very happily talk to him. But no one ever does, so he usually just stands there pretending to be a suit of armor.
Each of you has a non-super handler, an agent of the GSA. What is your who is yours, and describe this person?
Reginald Feathersnap is my keeper. Basically, he used to be really. He used to always try to polish me, but it's impossible to get the rust off me. So he just gave up, and now he like can't stand the sight of me because I am still rusty.
Okay. So each of you is given, since you three are volunteers, you're given some freedom within the rock. You're allowed to wander amongst the common areas. There's a bit of a canteen. There's, it's basically, you're in the open part of the prison. And your handlers come and go. There are definite steps in place if any of you try to riot and break out. And, no one's done that in a while after what happened last time.
What happened last time?
What happened last time is several supers tried to break down one of the main doors leading to the control room. And no one knows quite how it happened, but they were liquefied.
Oh. Well.
All right. So, Chris, what does your character do during his downtime, and who is your handler?
During my downtime, the character is basically showing off, like recording, like clips for YouTube or for the equivalent of YouTube, I guess.
YouTube still exists.
Oh, okay, that's great. So I'm basically managing my social media presence and making myself famous, like self-promoting myself as a modern, I guess, like trying to revitalize the cult of personality that always surrounded superheroes.
Okay. You find it difficult to create such an online presence because the whole tone of the world is against superheroes, superpowers, and anything to do with them. You find there are still some people out there who, mostly people interested in history, who are still interested in superheroes.
I imagine there's going to be fans out there no matter what. There's always going to be the odd ones.
But that sort of information is ruthlessly suppressed. So your fans would be basically on the equivalent of the dark net.
Yeah, I guess I can live with that. I guess I can like maintain a a presence.
Yeah, you're more infamous than famous.
Oh, that's okay. My handler is mm, like mm, a middle-aged woman named Lisa Altman, and she's perpetually, sorry, frustrated with me because with the character with Control because he's I guess he never listens to her and like usually does what he wants and it pretty much ends badly. And then she
I
has
imagine-
and then she has to make excuses for Control. So
I imagine she's tried to limit your access to anything other than the approved networks.
yes, but I'm always trying to be one step ahead of her and like try to because I can multiply myself, so I can do multiple accounts at one time. So
Okay,
there's no stopping me
all right.
at least for some time.
I imagine one day she wanders into your room and there's about 20 of you all on computers.
Yeah, making spelling errors, posting like things on Facebook because when there's 20 of me, each of me is stupider than the other.
Okay. All right. And John, what does your character do in his downtime?
He'll be a cat. He'll just hang out. No one will be able to find him except for his handler will know his places that he goes, and he just does his cat thing.
Okay. What is your who is your handler and what are they like?
Dr. Samantha Kyle, a female, 40 years old, behavioral therapist. He had a regular handler, but he kept changing handler to handler because nobody could really figure him out. So they gave him a behavioral therapist instead, and that's just she is probably a therapist for all of them, but her secondary duties is as his handler. He doesn't. So unlikely to be monitored too heavily.
Okay. All right. So, Archie, Sir Slipshod, does he sleep?
I mean, not
Or-
really.
Or
No.
power down, kind of thing.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. That's like when he goes in the scrap pile. He's kind of goes to sleep at that point. But that's only when he's like hurt. So he doesn't. He kind of just zones out. I guess would be a more appropriate term for it.
Okay. So during the sorry, what was that, John?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. So during the daylight hours, you're allowed access to the common room and the canteen. But when it comes to when it's night, or the equivalent of the night on the rock, you are all locked down, regardless of whether you are volunteer or a reluctant. Archie, you're placed inside of a containment unit, roughly just large enough for, sized just one size bigger than you are. And you are locked down and forcibly powered off.
Is it glass?
There is a viewing unit, a glass. It's sort of a tube that you walk into it, you lay back into it, and then a glass covers you.
Okay.
Your handler. It sounds very much like all your handlers are slightly fond of you, and like you were saying, Chris, about fans. Some of the fans, joined the GSA in order to be closer to superheroes and to understand them. I mean, they may not have been part of your fan group, but they joined out of interest. So definitely, Reginald is he's quite kind to you. He he says, "Oh well, sorry I have to do this again, but we'll wake you up in the morning and we'll find you a lovely pile of scrap. How would that be?"
Most excellent, my good man.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And there will be tea. I mean, I know you don't drink it, but I shall drink a cup for you.
As it should be.
Excellent. Powering down, and then he presses a couple of knobs, and then turns a couple of knobs, and then presses a button, and the glass folds over you, and the last thing you see is him smiling down. And John, your character is around your neck is the far future equivalent of a cat bell. Except it's constantly sending out a signal as to your location, so no one really needs to track you. They know where you are. Is it hard for them to trap you at night?
How about rather one of those pet locators that they stick under the skin?
Sounds good. Where is it located when you're in your human form?
In the same spot. It would be in the scruff of your neck, so right behind your neck.
Okay. It also functions as a disabling device should you prove difficult.
Sure.
Okay. So what do they have to do to get you locked down?
Probably offer him tuna.
Okay. So yeah, they so when you're in your cat form, you're very cat-like. I mean, human level intelligence, but your cat instincts are all there and as pressing as they would be for a cat.
I would say he's completely normal, like a human, like he normally is. He just pretends to be a cat.
Okay. So if something cat-related would work for you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because he would pretend, he would go with it. It's part of his psychosis. So
okay. So yeah, so
when he's in a cat form, he would just go with it.
All right. So you're wandering around. You're sitting in the common room. You're wandering in front of the viewing screen, and everyone's sort of the few that are left and haven't been taken to their rooms are shouting at you to get down, but you keep standing right in front of the viewer, right when the show is going on, of course. And
Okay.
you hear in the distance the sound of a can opening. And
Oh, nice.
you are, of course, naturally drawn towards it.
All right. I guess the only other thing that when he's in cat form, he can still talk. He's a shape changer, so
Okay.
he has the vocal cords. He can still speak, but he tends not to.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll go for the can if they're opening. If it's tuna time, it's tuna time.
There is tuna at the corner of the canteen. Is a little area set aside for oddly shaped and odd formed supers. So you would fall under that category. Your handler is there, the doctor. What does she look like?
J-Lo.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah, well, why not? He doesn't care. He doesn't have any attraction to humans.
Okay. So wearing glasses or no?
I'm sorry?
Glasses?
Sure, yeah, she has glasses.
Okay. So she's sitting there and she's got a device out. It made the noise of the can. No one's used an aluminium can for food in quite a while, but the sound is it's instinctual.
Sure.
She puts her hair back and she looks tired. She looks worn out. As you say, she's not just got you to deal with, but she's got this tube of tuna extract, basically, and she sort of squirts that into a cat bowl for you.
Very nice. Tuna sounds delicious.
And she says, "Well, you've got about 10 minutes, and then it's time to put you away."
Fair enough.
All right, and
He'll twitch his tail and eat his tuna.
all right. In about 10 minutes or so, she picks you up. Would you let her do that?
Of course, yeah.
Takes you to your room. What does your room look like?
Well, nothing silly as being a cat room. It would be a regular bed. Once the lights and all went out, he would revert back to human form.
Okay.
So once he turns the lights off, then he would change back, but he'll maintain the illusion of the cat as long as he can.
Okay. All right. So when you are in your room and the lights are shut down, you smell the familiar, slightly disgusting odor of the gas that they pump into your room at night to
Nice.
to put you to sleep.
Right.
And within seconds, you are out. Chris, what is your character doing?
I'm playing Madden, like the console game, the football. Like, what year is it?
It's the year 2117.
So I'm playing Madden 200.
117.
Yeah, precisely. Like by EA.
Okay.
So I'm playing with myself.
Whoa.
My duplicate.
Okay. So how does
Fun not intended.
football change?
I'm sorry.
How has football changed? Are they floating off the ground? Is anti-gravity involved?
I'm sorry. Have you not heard? It's Madden. It's never changed. Like since the 2007 release.
Okay.
It's EA. It's Electronic Arts. It's never changed. So
Okay.
I'm playing with my duplicate. Like he's got the other controller, and we're just like playing video games.
Okay. So your handler walks into the room. She looks across at you and says, "Well, I'm glad you're not doing anything more dangerous than playing that stupid game."
Well, I'm playing it online.
What? She immediately searches for a way to shut you down. What else are you doing?
Chill, Lisa, chill. I was joking. That was a
I
joke.
know. I cut you off your connection.
Yeah, you have. It was a joke. Just
Okay.
having fun here.
She says, "Well, collect yourselves, and I've got to get you to your room."
Yeah, I guess you have to. So I dismiss the duplicate, and
What does that look like, by the way?
well, I guess it just like turns slightly transparent and then disappears. Nothing fancy.
Okay. All right. And when you create one, what does it look like?
When I dismiss it, I grow like a few centimeters taller.
Okay.
Because when I every time I duplicate myself, I get smaller and I get dumber.
Okay.
So I'll go to my room basically because playtime is over, I guess.
Okay. So yeah, you dismiss your doppelganger, and she walks into your room and she says, "Did you know that a couple of people tried to escape yesterday? I shouldn't really be telling you this, but did you hear?"
No? Did they succeed?
Well, no. It was Klein and a few of his boys. They tried to break out through the air shaft. They had someone who could, that one weirdo who's always staring at you in the commissary, the one who can make himself into individual parts and then reassemble himself. Yeah, he tried to make his way out the ventilation system, but he ended up going through a couple of fans, and they're still trying to put him back together.
Lisa, why are you telling me this?
Well, I shouldn't be telling you this. Just looking out for you, trying to make sure you're not getting any ideas.
Yeah, thanks for the nightmares. Like, I'm not going to sleep now.
Well, I'm afraid you won't be given a choice.
Oh, like the gas. Yeah, thanks.
Well, I try my best. I mean, and she starts muttering about how she tries her best to make this a pleasant experience. She what can one woman do? And then
Yeah.
she says all this as she brings you up to your door.
Yeah.
All right. So your what does your room look like?
Yeah, it's like full of like, not real trophies, but like prop trophies from various sports events, like mainly football and boxing. It has like the like symbols for some teams, like and some sports equipment, boxing gloves, football, like shoulder pads, a helmet, and of course a bed, and some fridge packed with beer.
Okay.
Are we allowed to drink here at all?
She's sneaked you in a few beers from time to time. You'll have to hoard them. Basically, she mothers you,
Yeah.
but
Um,
you drive her mental with your various antics.
so I'm going to sleep, like, and there will be I guess a device in the room that will prevent my duplication, I guess. Like,
Yes, there is a sort of a slightly painful sonic buzz in the background, which is a device that engages at night that stops you from duplicating. And it's a dull pain in your eardrums.
I don't feel it when I'm asleep, so
Yeah.
makes no
So
sense.
you walk in and then you lay down, and as you're laying down, you smell that very familiar smell, and you are asleep. All right. So, John,
Yes.
Alley-Cat wakes up, but there is a clock in the room, and it's more than a clock. It is a wall display, which links. It gives you various information. It gives you lists of things that prisoners are no longer allowed to do. Lists of potential missions. If you were to get a mission, that's where you would. That's where the information would come to you. But it also has a basic clock and a few other things, and it's telling you that it is about 5 in the morning, and you fell asleep at around 8 o'clock. But it's telling you it's 5 in the morning 3 days later, and you believe it based on how hungry you feel.
There.
Well, yeah, you also notice. Actually, make me a notice roll.
All right, stand by. Let's see here. Notice is 2. So let me bump this 2 and rolling.
All right.
I've got a 2, which is a great roll.
Okay. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, your the difficulty was just 1, so you definitely succeeded. You look into the room, into your own room, and you notice that when you wake up, normally the lights come on no matter what time, but the lights aren't on. And there's also in the background you feel a kind of judder, a sort of shake. And you are trying to, as you look at the door, you see that it's actually open, and that never happens. Not without your handler opening the door first.
And you said the lights are off?
The lights are off, but you do have cat vision, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he would go ahead and switch into cat form. If there are shadows, he'll stick to the shadows and use his partial invisibility and creep along the shadows.
Okay.
And I guess first thing he'll do is head out towards the commons.
Okay. All right. Sorry, my dice are going everywhere. Okay. All right. So as you head out towards the commons, you start to hear the sounds of people. You hear banging on doors. It's basically a long hallway of prisoners heading towards the common room, and you hear the sounds of the various supers banging on the doors and shouting to be let out. But your door is open, and not many others are. As you're passing the hallway, you see Chris's doors open. Control V, what happens when you wake up?
Well, I'm usually check my phone for Wi-Fi connection and log on to various social media. But since my door is open, I'm going to walk out.
Okay.
And I'm going to look around, and I'm going to check if I'm going to send a text message to Lisa.
Okay.
What the hell is going on, basically?
Okay, that message it doesn't go through.
Oh, the network is down, I guess.
Yes.
Well, since the network is down, I'm going to find someone here from the initiative, and I'm going to carefully go to the common room. And there are people beating on the doors and asking to be let out, right?
Yes,
Hello?
there are.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to open some doors, but on the way to the common room.
Okay. You'll have to force the doors.
Oh, okay. I guess I have enhanced strength. So
okay. Some of the doors are slightly open. Some are completely locked down. Some are more than halfway open, and some have opened completely. So you can see people. They're poking their eyes out. They're yelling at you, trying to say, "Let me out! Let me out!"
Yeah, calm down. I'm going to open. Yeah, I'm going to let you out. Yeah, just calm down.
Okay.
I'm trying to I'm trying to convince these people to stop shouting, basically.
Okay. The nearest one to you is, in fact, Archie's chamber, but his suit has not yet powered on, nor has the glass fully retracted. It looks like he was about to be woken up when the glass stopped halfway.
Do I know him? I think I.
Yeah, you've definitely seen each other around.
Okay, so I'm going to wake up the silly tin man.
Okay. There, as you reach for the control panel, you see that it's just not. It's pretty much dead. But there's a slight bit of life in it. It's kind of surging. So as you keep tapping away at the buttons, Archie, do your eyes glow when you're awake?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you have no indication that he is waking up, but Archie, you are slowly powering back on.
So I'm going to call out for him, like, "Hey, Tin Man, wake up! We have a situation here."
Duty calls as like I'm like getting ramped up and stuff. Yes, my friend, Sir Slipshod, and I like try to push the glass open.
It doesn't resist you. It moves very much out of the way.
Nice. So I step out.
Okay.
Quite irregular.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Tin Man. Here's the deal. I don't know what happened. The station is powered down and the network is offline. So let's figure
The
this out.
asteroid's orbit stable.
The
I have
asteroid,
no idea.
the asteroid that you're floating on, it's basically you're actually floating on an island that was raised from the sea.
Well, is the island's orbit stable?
You're slightly off kilter. And in the background, you hear the sound of explosions, and the power suddenly surges back to life. The doors all open, and you finally hear the sound of the warning bell, the warning klaxon going in the background. Just sort of, please return to your rooms. Return to your rooms. All malcontents will be forcibly restrained. Return to your rooms. This is not a drill.
Is this a automated message?
It is an automated message, yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to trust that.
It seems that we should return to our rooms.
Yeah, that's just a recording.
Would you like to wait here with me?
Well, let's just try to convince the screaming people in the rooms close to us to to stop screaming.
That is a very good idea, my friend. I'm willing to leave my room for that.
Archie, you're a very literal robot?
No, I'm just like an old plate mail suit of armor. I'm all rusty.
Okay. But, I mean, you take everything very literally?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
So, Tin Man, here's the deal. We have to let them out and organize them and tell them to behave, I guess.
Yes, we must tell them to return to their rooms like the recording said.
All right.
More or less, yeah.
People are running around you. You'll notice that there are no agents amongst them. These are just the supers. All with various different abilities. You know some of them. One of them can breathe fire. There's several who can turn themselves into liquid and back. Just a whole collection of various abilities. But they're all, you are all wearing a sort of prison jumpsuit. And you don't see anyone that breaks that pattern. But while you're gathered together, you hear there's a long hallway leading to the commissary. And you hear an explosion coming from there. And there's a small fireball that goes a short way down the hallway. And you hear the screams of some of the supers who were in that area, and as they are burned. And you hear a strange buzzing noise in the background. Sort of like the droning of bees.
Okay, that's it. We are getting out of here. Let's find as many people as we can, and let's try to escape from here.
Don't you think that they got burned because they tried to escape?
I don't want to find out.
I'm like standing right outside my cell's threshold, and I'm like looking back and forth. I'm not sure if this is a wise decision.
Tin Man, people are dying here. We are off orbit. For all I know, we're going to hit Earth in some time.
Oh my! Now I start to kind of like bobble like C-3PO. Like, okay, if you say so, let us find help.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will try to like collect as many supers as we can and try to escape the station.
Okay. Alley Cat, what are you up to right now?
Once it becomes a danger situation, he's going to go find his only friend, the eater, and his dog,
Okay.
and get them to safety if possible.
That being the fellow who eats various things in order to gain some of their properties.
And spew them out, right?
Okay. Okay. So you try and locate him, but his room is empty. His room was slightly nearer the commissary than yours, and you looking around, you don't see him as one of the injured. But you are. Give me another notice roll.
All right, stand by.
Higher than a 3.
All right. I got a 2, which is a great.
Okay, so higher than. All right, so you did fail, but you can choose to succeed at a major cost.
No.
Okay. All right. So
he doesn't care about people that much.
Okay. So you failed.
Unless you're going to force it on him because it's his only friend. That's one of his others for aspects.
No, it works perfectly. You give a casual glance in the direction of the wounded, and you fail to see the cloud in the air above them. The cloud made up of millions of tiny little nano machines that are floating around and suffocating the various supers that are still alive on the floor. And the cloud is moving towards you.
I failed to notice that?
You fail to notice that right until you start to find it difficult to breathe.
Okay, well, in that one panic moment, I'm going to... Are we still in a lit area or unlit area?
The lights have come on. You can see, but these are... It's basically the equivalent... It looks like a heat haze.
I got you. He's gonna immediately dart for any sort of the darkest area he can, make it look like he's running in underneath a table or in a cabinet or something. And as soon as it's dark, he's gonna phase through the wall on the other side and just keep running.
Okay. So you'll basically be able to run from cell room to cell room. If you were to try to run any further, the walls would block you.
Only if they're dark.
Sorry, what was that?
Only if there's a shadow aspect. It has got to be somewhere dark. Can't do it in full light.
Okay, so you can
like under a bed or through a cabinet.
Okay,
that sort of thing.
Okay, all right. So you managed to break away. So Slipshod and Control V. You guys see this happening. You see the people choking to death on the ground, and behind them, you see a wall of tall figures moving in lockstep down the hallway.
Do those look like the regular guards?
They do not.
Can I see why the people are choking? Can I?
Yes, they're actually. These figures are walking over the people and not minding that they're there, so they're actually, stepping on them and killing them.
It would be most advisable for you to get inside of my armor at this time.
What?
Yes, you should don my armor right now.
Okay. Like,
gross.
Shouldn't you buy me a drink first or something?
While you're talking, you see one of the supers that was not affected by the cloud. He runs forward and pulls his hands into the air and fires a beam of energy directly at the first figure. And you now see them to be 3 massive robots. about 9 foot tall, each with the equivalent of a tower shield in front of them that, locked together, creates a very effective shield wall. And he fires and he blasts one of them in the head, which knocks the head back. And he looks a bit satisfied right up until the moment when the head moves back into place, slightly scorched. And the beam of energy that he sent out fires straight back at him, taking his head off.
Okay, we're going to run now, Tin Man.
You did not try to get into my armor?
There's no time.
Well, did you? Oh, that's straight. Okay, if you didn't try, that's fine. I'll try to run with you. I'm like stumbling. I can't run very well, but I try.
Okay. If you're going to like be very very slow, I'm going to like try to get into you.
Okay, yeah. So if you go up behind me, like you're gonna get into me, you notice the seam. And
I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
It cracks open, and like it's just you could just step in me, no problem.
Yeah.
So you sort of step in and then slip your arm into the suit of armor's arm, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
And as soon as you do, you see like it goes from like crappy metal and leather to like this super high tech futuristic display with like a heads up display, and you feel your body invigorated with like strength and vigor, and you feel stronger and faster than you've ever felt before, and durable.
Okay, Tin Man.
And you can't tell, but on the outside, my body has taken on a color that matches you. So like I turned into a mecha suit that matches your style.
So basically, I'm a robotic like football player.
Yeah, and you can use all your powers too.
Can I duplicate the armor too?
I mean, if your powers to duplicate, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
Yes, you're able to duplicate a facsimile of yourself in the suit of armor.
Okay, that's great. I'm going to save some people now, because that's what heroes do. I turn around to facing the silhouettes, the robots, and I'm going. How many of them are there?
There are 3.
I'm going to duplicate myself twice, and I'm going to charge them.
Okay. John, what is your character up to right now?
He is hauling ass until he's away from the cloud, and then he's going to book for whatever would be the equivalent of a lifeboat or a emergency way station, wherever we're supposed to go whenever there's an emergency, like there's a fire or anything like that. I'm going to go to wherever my station is supposed to be.
There is actually no provision for that sort of thing. I mean, health and safety would have a field day with this operation, but you're not. You were never given any instructions about what to do in case of an emergency on the rock. And your entire cell block consists of the commissary, the hallway where you all are kept, and the common rooms. So it's
he's going to go for he'll go for the darkest area. Then he'll go for wherever it's darkest, so he can just pie and just observe.
Okay, that would be the theater common room.
All right, see what he can take in from there.
Okay, the theater common room is still pretty dark because there's not much lighting in there. It would disturb the movies when they play. So, yeah, that would be the darkest, most secluded place. All right. Now the new suit of armor, and yeah. So, what does the armor look like on the outside now?
Yeah, the armor looks like a football uniform, like shoulder pads and a helmet, but like robotic and stuff.
Okay. And Archie, are each of the suits of armor, or the duplicates, are each of them slightly uglier, slightly malformed?
Nah, man. When somebody actually puts on the shitty old rusty armor, it turns amazing and it looks futuristic and badass.
Okay.
But this guy's clones, every one of his clones ends up being a little less and a little more like
Oh,
not,
well, yeah. So
not retarded as in the
Just smaller, like
physiological, but yeah, just
okay,
slightly
yeah.
different.
So the plates. You know how in anime when the robot takes damage, there are all lines on them and shit. It looks like the plates have taken damage and are all.
yeah, my clones are only smaller and dumber.
Okay.
They basically follow my lead, and the more there are, the dumber there are.
So,
I guess, and the smaller there are.
having seen the example of the first super to stand up to these robots, most people are running as far away from them as they can. Though there is a group of about five supers, 3 men and 2 women who are standing firm. One of them is he is firing needles from his fingertips, and running as he does so. And then you have a woman who's flying through the air, and she is trying to knock them over with a gust of wind, and various others. The one thing you are noticing, though, is that every power that these supers try and use against these robots is being reflected back on them in
Okay.
one form or another.
So I'll not use any power. I'll just smash them into bits.
Okay.
Hopefully
All
that
right.
they won't attack back.
I'll say a tactical assessment indicates. Actually, wait, hold on. I'm tripping, man. That's not how I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna say, damn, you finally put me on, dude. Appreciate you. Now you got my full powers. Yo, man, we shouldn't attack these dudes because look, it ain't working. We need to attack the base or these people around it. If we attack the robots, it's just going to get bounced back. But if we hit the floor, they'll fall through and they'll be gone.
Oh,
Gotcha.
please
Yo,
use
you want me
football
to go
terminology.
deep offense, brother?
Where did the like medieval knight act go?
Man, that's my old suit of armor. I'm the real deal.
Okay. So I'm going to trust in your advice, and I'm going to hit the floor below the
Offensive
robot.
measures engaged.
So
Okay.
I'm so with all my force, and I guess the force of my 2 duplicates, I'm going to hit the floor below the robots.
Okay. What are you trying to achieve?
Well, I'm trying to break through, so they will fall through the breakdown.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that below us is not like void or something.
Yeah, you definitely do not know that, so it is definitely a risk. All right. So yeah, you're trying to
Break through the
create
floor.
an advantage, trying to create the aspect hole in the floor, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're going to be rolling at let's see, 4 or higher.
So my physique is 3. I have super strength. That's +2. That's 5. How does the armor help me?
Since I said offensive, then you should have some kind of boost to attacking. I don't know how that's going to play out mechanically.
Does it
I can choose if I
help?
want to go offense or defense, and so I says offensive measures engaged. That means I'm helping you attack stuff.
Does it help like my base trait level or my?
I think it for right now we'll play that it adds +2 to your roll.
Okay. I'll.
How's that, RJ?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not just going to roll now. And I rolled like 3 pluses and a minus.
Okay.
And
what is the grand total?
my grand total is a great roll, which is plus
+4?
+4, yeah, +4.
Okay, so you've tied. Do you want to invoke an aspect?
Yeah.
Now would be the time to invoke an aspect or to spend a fate point to re-roll.
Yeah, I'm going to invoke a aspect which is called Boxing Wizkid.
Okay. All right.
So like, I know how to hit, and I know how to hit hard.
Okay, so tell me what it looks like as you hit the floor, and you've succeeded. So tell me what it looks like as you hit the floor and the hole opens beneath you. And it is opening on the void.
Oh shit!
But I imagine that it's opening from you forward.
Yeah. So me and my 2 duplicates hit the floor beneath the robots very violently, and everything starts to shake. But the first hit was not enough, so me and my duplicates perform a hook and a straightforward punch, like in boxing.
Mhm.
Like 1, 2, and then repeat until the floor finally breaks down into the space, I guess.
Okay. All right. So yeah, the how big is this hole? So,
So I was trying to create as big of a hole. I was trying to create a hole that would suck the robots out of space.
okay. The robots are going to roll to try and get out of the way, basically.
Okay.
All right. And they're rolling against your +4.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, 2 of the robots, their legs were forward. They just moved forward, and as they do so, the legs just go through the hole. And these 2 their shields were connected, and they go together straight down. As they go down, the woman who was flying and shooting gusts of air at them, she gets trapped underneath one of them, and she plummets down with them. You don't see her again.
Yeah.
And the man who was shooting.
Can I try to save her?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, I'm going to, because I'm a sucker for a pretty face.
Okay.
I'm going to.
There are a few that are falling, though. The man who was shooting needles and one other.
How many?
You gotta save them all,
3 in
man.
total.
How many?
3 total.
3. So I'm going to need a
3 or higher.
Yeah, I have me and one of my duplicates. So original me is going for the woman, and the duplicates are going for the rest of the superheroes.
Okay.
Yeah, your heads-up display like Iron Man. You see the little boop, it targets them. It's
Yeah.
telling you you
So-
gotta get at them.
What will I roll now?
Okay, you're trying to save them.
Athletics, I guess.
Athletics, yeah.
Okay. Let me check my character. For athletics, I have super speed. That +2. That's a base of 7. I'm sorry, 6. That's a base of 6, and what the armor gives me +2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just asking.
Yes.
So that's 8. And I'm going to roll now. Let's do it. Oh god, I rolled a minus. I rolled a 6.
Okay.
That's a
So-
that's still a fantastic success.
Oh,
6 plus.
definitely. You have succeeded with style. So you gain a boost or a situation. So you can say something of because you saved them, they're going to fight with you. So
Okay.
the situation aspect maybe like lies at my back or something like that, or you can gain a boost to use on your next one.
What do you mean by boost? Like a
Well,
mechanical?
a boost is a temporary +2. It goes away after you use it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to pick a D boost.
Okay.
A +2.
All right.
So it will be the woman, or yeah, she'll be grateful and she'll follow us and she'll help me once or twice, I guess.
Okay. So there's one more robot left, and there is a massive void in between you and it.
Okay.
Real quick, John.
Yes.
While this is going on, you hear a strange
A strange what? Your voice was all broken up. I didn't hear anything. Hello?
Oh, I think his mic went down.
1 second.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
you, brother. Oh, wait, what's up?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were describing something and then your voice disappeared.
Oh, okay. How about now?
I'm good now. Go ahead.
Okay. So you hear the sound of drilling.
Drilling.
In the roof above you. And as you look up, you see a large, probably 6 foot wide drill bit punched through the roof. And the drill bit slides down and then into a sort of a long tube. And the tube, a door opens in the tube, and a man is standing there. Or at least he was a man at one point, but now he's more like 90% machine. Still has a vaguely human face, but most of the rest of him is quite obviously mechanized. And he looks around, and he leaps from the drill and lands amongst the chairs for the theater, scattering them as he lands. And he gets up and takes a look around. What do you do?
Well, he's in the shadows, so he's going to continue to watch. Does anybody else come out, or is it just him?
Just him.
Well, he's just going to continue to watch. He's going to stay in the shadows and be very quiet.
Okay. All right. So this man, he looks out. He looks around him. He does. He's going to attempt to see what. Let's see what skill. I'm going to need you to roll stealth versus his notice.
You got it.
All right.
I have stealth +2. So that's stealth +5 total.
Okay, he is also at +5.
Okay, the most this thing will let me do is 4, so I just have to add it when I roll. Okay, I got 7, so super trans legendary. I got a 7.
All right. So, how would you like that narratively to translate?
He uses his scanner to scan where I was, and at that moment, his hit or miss power of the phasing kicks in a defensive fight or flight mode, and the scanner passes right over, and he misses him, doesn't see him at all, and continues on his way.
Okay, he's making his way into the hallway. Archie, Chris, he'll be behind you when he comes out into the hallway. In between you and the robot. Or robot.
Okay,
as soon as he's out of sight, out of range or whatever, he's going to jump into in cat form, he's going to jump into the compartment he just left. Okay. The drill, he's going to go inside.
As you enter, it closes around you and starts to retract into the ceiling.
Duh. Okay, what's inside the drill?
Not really anything. It's just a cylindrical tube. There is a display which shows the depth that the drill had penetrated into the rock, and it's now going in reverse, and it looks like a minute or two before you're on the surface.
All right. Well, before that gets any further, as soon as it closes, if there's a dark spot underneath a cabinet or something like that, he'll duck under there and try to phase through the drill and get back where he was.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to send it back down, or no?
No, he's trying to get out. If the door closes, he'll get out as soon as he can. He'll find the darkest spot he can.
Okay.
Zip through it.
All right. Control V and Slipshod. You the armor, the suit of armor, or the suit of the robot that's left. He has thrown aside his shield, and he raises both of his arms, and from those arms, he sends out tiny little missiles, like about 30 of them. These little missiles, and they're all aimed at one each at everybody. So a few for each of your duplicates. And he fires them, and they leap across very, very fast.
Yeah, Tin Man, what do we do now?
Defensive measures engaged. It looks like this guy wants to fight.
He does, indeed. All
Brilliant, right. Sherlock. I wouldn't guess that myself.
All right. I think you guys are you going to try and dodge or shoot them down or something?
Does the armor have any weapons?
You're the weapon, my friend.
Oh yeah. How many? 30 rockets. If no, I'm not going to duplicate myself 30 times. It's not going to help. So can the girl that operates on large masses of air, can she like throw the rockets off their trajectory?
Yeah, if you want to try and you want to encourage her to try and throw the rockets off.
Yeah, I'm going to. What's the most what's the most characteristic thing about her?
You know of her. Her code name is Whirlwind, and that is her characteristic move, as it were, to create a whirlwind and throw people around, that sort of thing. That might be what you're looking for, or possibly her to try and just sort of make a blast of air to throw them into the wall, or throw the rockets out through the hole in the floor.
Yeah, I'm going to shout at her, "Hey, spinny lady! Do something about these rockets. Throw them to the side.
Make a wedge to divert them."
Okay, she nods at you, and she leaps forward, and she tries to she starts spinning round and round over the void, and the rockets get caught up in the vortex. A few of them slip through, but the rest of them burn out in the whirlwind. They run out of fuel. But you're going to have to deal with the 3 rockets that did manage to get through.
Who are they aimed at?
One is aimed at you, the real you, and then 2 of them are aimed at a couple of supers off to your left.
Okay, so I'm going to teleport myself to my duplicate. How that works is to say a synergy.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically I'm creating a duplicate some distance away, and then wheeling away my original body, my consciousness, into the duplicate. So effectively teleporting myself. So I'm going to do that to avoid being hit by the rocket.
You won't take damage, my friend. Use our bodies to block those missiles and save those people.
Okay.
Okay, so
I got you.
Okay, I'm going to trust you with this one. But if I get my legs blown off, I'm going to.
I'm glad you're with me. We're the only ones that could do it with your multiple bodies and my badass armor.
something happens, I'm going to dip you in the bath of acid. Okay, I'm doing as he says. No point in arguing with the piece of armor.
Okay. All right. So you're going to try and block them.
Yeah.
Okay.
With me and my duplicates.
All right. So you're rolling. These are guided missiles. So you're rolling against the robot. Yeah.
What stat?
What was it?
What stat am I rolling for?
Well, how are you trying to block them?
I guess I can, like, catch them. Try to catch them out of the air, and then
physique.
Yeah, physique.
All right.
So still +2 from the armor, right?
Yes, still +2.
Okay, well, that'd be a base of 7. Okay, here's goes nothing. So I rolled a legendary roll. I'm at 7 + 2. I'm at 9 even.
Okay. All right.
So, can I catch the rockets and like rotate them so they'll hit the robot instead?
Yeah. The suit of armor is he's going to spend a fate point to invoke the distracting the supers in your way, basically. I mean, you're all milling about. There's a bunch of people around you, and there's the whirlwind and everything. He's going to invoke those distractions in order to try and get at least one rocket through. And so he'll match your 9.
Okay.
So he'll succeed at a minor cost. So tell me, narratively, how does that work for you? So he's succeeded, but at a cost.
It costed him what a aspect that's the negative.
No. How narratively is he? Is this a problem for him?
Maybe he had to go into a disadvantageous position.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe he, in order to focus on this final, this one rocket, he is now himself distracted. That kind of thing.
I was thinking more along the lines of he just got hit by the 2 rockets that were thrown at him.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's even better, dude. That's even better.
He took his time to like aim more precisely.
Okay, so he takes a point of stress. All right. Now, John.
Yes.
You have you feel the drill. It just sounds above you. It sounds like it's no longer fighting through rock or anything, and the door next to you hisses open, and you are on a landing pad. You see various hovercraft. You see helicopter. You see planes, but they're all designed to take off from a stationary position. There's no runway. But yeah, that is where you exit. You see that most of these airplanes and vehicles have been disabled or destroyed in one way or another. But for the first time today, you see GSA agents running around. And more of those, or actually, you did see the giant robots, right?
Yes, he ran away.
You see more of those up here, and they seem to be doing quite well for themselves. They're fighting against the agents. The agents are using quite advanced technology, quite advanced weaponry, but the weaponry that they're using is based off of superpowers. Part of what the GSA has an R&D department that studies each of your powers and tries to replicate it one way or another. And sometimes that translates to people who can heal themselves. That could translate into a pill that reverses aging by a certain amount, or someone who can spontaneously combust. That could be used to produce clean, renewable energy, that kind of thing. But part of the research has gone into weaponry, and so they're using ice weapons that can fire beams of ice, weapons that can fire energy beams, that sort of thing. But it's all getting bounced back at them from those shields.
Gotcha.
Yeah, well,
How many robots are there?
there's about 20 or 30 up here. It's quite a large
Jesus.
landing pad. And there are about 1,000 agents up here.
Well, then they don't need me.
Yeah, you basically you basically walked into a party quite unexpectedly.
Yeah, he's going to duck and cover. He'll get out of there. If he can go back down the tunnel that was left behind, he'll go down there.
Okay. You try and activate the drill, but it's not closing on you anymore.
No. If it left a hole behind when the drill came out, he'll go down the hole himself.
The drill hasn't left the ground. It's still in the ground.
I gotcha.
But basically, part of it is emerged, and the rest of it's still in the hole. So you can hide. You can hide within the surface part.
Where the drill drills into the ground, it has an auger, and the auger clears the ground out as it goes.
Yes.
So there's a chance that I could squeeze between that and get to a gap and get into the hole that was left for the drill and get down the tunnel.
You can definitely try that.
If it's dark enough, he'll be able to phase through it. But if it's still light, that's what he'll do.
Okay. So yeah, you can give that a go. It's going to be quite a difficult roll because it is a small gap even for a cat. And yeah, you're going to need to get a 6 or higher.
Okay. Well, he could shift form into a kitten and go and try it like that.
Okay, he can do that.
He will shift into the smallest kitten he's ever remembered seeing, and he'll try it. Which what do you mean to do? Athletics?
Athletics, yes.
All right, he has a 4 in athletics. And rolling. And I have a positive 3.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, you're at 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, you managed to succeed. You squeeze through, and yeah, there's nothing to stop you as you plummet down through the hole. But you can phase through it. How does that work?
He can only phase if it's dark.
It does get dark right when you enter the hole.
Okay. Well, if there's a side, he's gonna run down the side. He'll change back into a regular cat and run down the side of the hole until he reaches a point that the opening is appearing.
Okay. You manage to make it into the theater again, and you hear the sounds of combat from the door outside. Moving back to Slipshod and Control V. Yeah, you're still engaged with this this automaton, and yeah, you just blasted him in the face with one of his own rockets. So what do you do now?
Suggestions?
I think we need to get these people and get the heck out of here.
Yeah, can you scan the robot somehow, I guess?
Scan, what are you looking for?
Weak points?
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a notice roll. I mean, it is quite a hectic, combat, and the robot is about to re-engage. So I'm going to say this is quite a tricky roll. You need to, Archie, you need to get a 5 or higher.
Okay, so I have I have 2 in the skill of notice, and I rolled a poor -1. So does that give me a 1?
You rolled a -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would give you a 1.
Yeah, so yeah, I say sorry, friend, it seems my sensors are having a little bit of a malfunction. I don't know what the heck's going on with that guy.
You can still succeed at a major cost if you choose.
No, that's okay. I just didn't notice.
Okay. All
I'll
right. So
save those major costs for when we have to actually get hit by the rockets and shit.
okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
your scan actually pings off of the robot. You're not able to scan him. He just appears as a void in your scanner.
Yeah, this is a really creepy guy. I don't like him at all.
All right.
I say we avoid him.
So,
Whoa. Oh, sorry.
do we have any shields? Like,
Apart from human shields, not really.
no, I like a piece of floor or a metal, like a fragment of a metal wall. There were rockets flying everywhere, so like a piece of like
Okay.
broken
You
off
want to
construct.
rip a piece off the floor and protect yourself with it?
Yeah, I'm trying to shield myself and shout to the remaining supers that fall back, basically.
If you want, you can try and create a sort of a wall of rubble from the various broken things around you.
Yeah.
That would be a create advantage roll, and you could create the situational advantage wall of rubble.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bother with like rubble. I'm just going to create a wall of duplicates,
Okay.
and that'll be my action.
Okay.
And telling the remaining heroes to like fall back.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to say since you're rolling, you're going to create a wall of a passive wall of duplicates.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's a tricky one to choose for what skill to roll.
Yeah.
Did you have a skill in mind? Because I'm thinking possibly provoke. That you're trying to get him to attack the wall of duplicates rather than you.
Will. Can I throw will because it's like, yeah, can I throw will because it's a wall, it's like several duplicates, it exceeds my like normal ability.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, I can roll will. Okay, I'm going to roll will then.
Okay.
So I rolled at a 0.
Okay.
What now? Mediocre. What now?
What is your will score?
Yeah, my will score is 2.
Okay. All right. To create the advantage was merely a +1 for you because it's something you can do quite easily to create duplicates of yourself. So now would probably be a good time to spend a fate point to reroll.
Okay, so I'll do
But
that.
I'm going to offer you a fate point to say that you create this wall of duplicates, but right as you create them and sort of line them up at the edge, the whole structure starts to shake, and most of them get knocked into the void.
No, I'm just going to spend the fate point.
Okay, so you'd have to spend a fate point to not have that happen.
I just wanted to re-roll.
Okay.
The throw.
Okay, go for it.
Can I do that? Yeah.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. Yeah. I rolled at a +1 now.
Okay. So yeah, you tied. So you can choose to succeed or to You succeeded in a minor cost.
Sorry, I rolled a 3. Sorry, I
Oh, okay. Then you succeed.
read it like.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you create that wall, which is definitely distracting the robot.
Then I'm going to scream at the other supers to fall back to the common room.
Okay. Archie,
Yes, sir.
how would you like a fate point if your, let's say your suit of armor has sustained a little bit of leg damage in the fight previously, and you're a little bit slower than the rest?
Okay. What I was thinking was I would like to supersize.
Okay.
So, like, instead of offensive or defensive, I would grow. So, like, you would just get bigger, like Megazord or whatever. Actually, I think it might be kind of cool if, like, when I did that, I got even more damaged or whatever. Where, like, instead of just a nick or whatever, I start to spark and my legs like jacked up.
Okay. I say you can mega size to roughly a little bit larger than the robot. Anything larger than that, you punch through the ceiling. But as you do so, the slight amounts of damage that you took before are magnified by the increase in size.
All right, and how should I denote that on my sheet here, man?
Don't worry about it. You're getting a fate point for that.
Okay, excellent, very good.
Basically, what I'm doing is using the compel part of the in Fate Core. You can compel an aspect or compel a situation as a GM to hand out some fate points and narratively change things up by saying something either negative happens or something interesting happens. If you accept the compel, then you get a fate point. If you decline the compel, then you have to pay a fate point in order for it not to happen.
Oh,
Okay, so was it cool that I added in the whole grow big thing, or should I have just taken the damage and passed the next stat? Because I'm not trying to resolve that.
Yeah, we'll carry on from now, but just keep it in mind in the future.
Yeah, sure thing, brother. All right, appreciate you.
Yeah, no trouble. All right, so you get you magnify. What does that look like?
I mean, basically, I get bigger, man. So like the plates on me just grow and grow and grow. It's like just a scale up, basically.
Okay.
Just imagine if you put your toy in a smaller set. You know
All right. Sounds good. The supers that were around you have basically run off. They're either hiding in rooms or they're making their way towards the common rooms. Some of them are making their way towards the theater room. And do you have sensors that can see behind you, or are you facing towards the robot?
Yeah.
I suppose I'm asking if you have 360-degree vision.
No, I don't have that.
Okay. All right.
And I'm about done with this guy. Let's finish this.
Okay.
As we get all big.
All right. So as you get larger, and you're about to engage with the robot, you do hear screams behind you. John, you as you look out through the door of the theater, you see the cyborg that came down through the tunnel, and
Yes.
from his body, there's this sort of strange heat haze around his body, very like what you saw before.
Right.
And he's standing a little bit behind the doorway, and some supers start to run into the room. You see some that you recognize, some that you actively dislike, and as they run through the door, they start to scream and clutch at their throats, and they actually start to bleed from their eyes, and blood starts to well up from their skin, and they look like they're being torn apart from the inside. One of them actually blows up in a shower of mist, and all that's left are a few small pieces of bone. While this is happening, the man has not stopped walking. He's just moving forward, and whatever it is that he's controlling are moving these people out of his way by one means or another, mostly by disintegrating them in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So he's going to keep his distance and adopt a hide and watch position.
Okay. All right. So back to the mech warrior battle.
I'm going to give the lead to Archie, since he's the armored one.
Okay.
I'll say,
Archie, it's your game.
okay, I'll say, sorry for taking over, man. The wall idea was great. I thought we should get big to finish this off, though. And so did all the dudes get big, or did just us get big?
I'd say that the others got big, but not as big as you.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So while they're blocking everything, I say we just like kind of stomp forward and give this thing a big boot.
Yeah, go crazy.
Let's do that.
All right.
So I'm gonna. There's an attack, right?
Yeah. So you're trying to attack the robot.
I'm gonna kick it out that hole. Basically, I'm trying to kick it out that hole.
Okay. The void is between you and it. So you're going to leap it.
My bad. I thought he was already on the other side of the hole.
No, he wasn't. But he is going to. He's going to spend a fate point to leap the gap, and also to kind of sucker punch you as he does so.
Okay, perfect. So instead, what I want to do is like, well, yeah, I'm just gonna like raise my foot up so when he like comes into me, he like hits my foot, so he can punch me and I'll kick him.
Okay, so you're trying to. All right, make me a defense roll. You're trying to a physique roll.
That's my best thing, baby.
Ooh.
Okay, I rolled a fair +2, and I got a 4 skill in physique.
He's going to spend. He's going to spend a fate point to re-roll. All right. What was the grand total?
6.
He also got a 6, so he manages. He succeeds, but doesn't actually do any damage. He just he knocks you back, and so creates the temporary aspect on you on the back foot, which he can invoke next time.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so yeah, it's your move.
All right, let's. I'm gonna say, help me out here. What's your name?
Yeah.
Control V. I'll say, help me out with them boxing skills. Control V, and I'm gonna try to mimic your boxing thing, and I'm gonna try to punch him in the chest and like push him out the hole again.
So I'm going to suggest to aim for the chin if the robot has one.
Okay. By the way,
Let's do that.
all right. By the way, all of you here, I mean, there is the sound of rushing wind from the hole in front of you, and there's the sound of combat and people screaming and everything. But in the background, quite loud still, you hear the automated message saying, automated defense measures initiated, 1 minute until activation. All supers must return to their rooms or be forcibly restrained.
Where did this come from?
This is the PA system, basically. Everyone hears this.
So be forcibly restrained or be forcibly restrained.
Yeah, basically.
They're not leaving us a lot of choices, are they? Here.
Not really. It is an automated system, so it probably, it probably wouldn't do this if it had a choice. All right, so yeah, you're going to punch it on the face, basically.
That's right.
All right, go for it.
See what we can do here. Oh, that's a -1, so I got 3.
Oh, I have a fight of 3. Does it help?
When you're assisting someone, you'll give +1 to the roll, basically.
Okay, so I give you a +1.
Got a foe, baby.
Okay, what was your grand total?
Foe.
4? Oh wow, you you definitely succeed. I got a 2 in my defense. So you deal 2 shifts worth of stress. Tell me how you destroy this robot.
So I was trying to knock him out the hole, but my dude was like, punch him in the chin. So I came at full strength to punch him in the chin, just a nice hook to the chin, all classic slobber knocker. And instead of just making his chin turn up a little bit, I clean knocked his whole head off, and just his head went out the hole, and his body's still just standing there.
Okay, I'm gonna say the body keeps walking around and in ever widening circles, and one of the circles takes it near the edge, and it just goes out.
Nice tip with the jaw, man.
Yeah. All right. By the way, Archie, is there any limit, time limit to the amount of time you can be powered up like that?
The big thing, I would think it would definitely last max 2 or 3 rounds. Now, just in merged form, I would say I could stay as long as the person would be willing to wear me, or I wasn't destroyed.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say right about now would be when you'd shrink.
Perfect.
All right. So yeah, from behind you, from the direction of the theater room, you hear screaming, and you see a tall humanoid figure who appears to be mostly robotic, but with a human face. And you see people around him blowing up into shreds of mist and skin and blood, and yeah, they are being destroyed behind you. And this figure is walking in your direction.
Okay, now scan him. Scan him.
Holy smokes, Control V, that ain't right. Scanner activated.
All right, you want to scan him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's just going to be a passive scan at +5.
I got 0.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry.
You can still choose to succeed.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. That's fine. Or can I just? What do I got to do to reroll? Spend a fate? How many fate did I?
1 fate point to reroll.
How many did I start with?
A 3.
Okay, yeah, I'll reroll. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I have a 3 now.
Okay. Still a failure. Since it was 5, but yeah, you can still choose to succeed if you want to.
Yeah, I'll take a much less bad consequence now, I think.
Okay. So you scan him, and you don't like what you see. He is. It's not so much him that's the problem. It's the massive wall of nanites around him. Pretty much in everything, around everything. Through your scanner, through the benefit of your scanner, you see the nanites enter the body of another super. This one, is an aquatic super. He has, gills. He's been used to good effect in underwater missions. You see the nanites enter his gills, and you track them as they enter every part of his body, and They start to heat up rapidly, and he basically gets cooked from the inside out. And as you stare at the source of these nanites, the man, you see that the nanites are actually a part of his body. When he sends a shoot of them off, it's actually coming from his arm, and his arm gets slightly smaller.
Oh man, that's one seriously evil cat right there.
Mm-hmm.
He just totally disintegrated that guy.
Yeah, the only problem is that since you did fail, but you chose to succeed, he notices you, and he sets up a cloud of nanites heading in your direction. While that's happening, he turns away. He sends the nanites off, but he doesn't look like he's actively controlling them so much as telling them what to do, and then they go on autopilot. He is walking towards the one room on the floor that none of you were ever allowed in, and that can only be opened by that only even appears when when one of the handlers goes through it. So a handler would walk up to this flat wall, and a door will appear out of absolutely nowhere, and the handler steps through the door and vanishes, and then the door vanishes. Any of the supers that's tried to escape through there has run straight into a metal wall. He walks up to that wall, and he walks straight through the door that wasn't there and vanishes.
Well,
But unlike usual, the door stays.
is the cloud of nanites like chasing us still?
The cloud of nanites is heading in your direction. If you you can choose to engage it, or you can attempt to barrel through it and make it to the door. It's up to you.
I don't know what to do. Do we have any countermeasures, Tin
I
Man?
got two ideas, friend. Number one, we can try to jump out of the way and avoid it. But if it gets on me, you just make it to the door. Turn your back to the door, man. Don't worry about me. Just get at and just make it, okay? Do it. Trust me.
We go together, or none of us goes?
Well, then try to avoid them, because I don't think I can stop them from breaking down my armor.
Can you self-repair?
Yep. But you
Okay.
won't be able to stand me when that happens. You'll be kicked out.
Yeah, let's try to get to the door. Let's try to avoid the cloud of nanomachines.
Okay. So you're trying to get around it? All right. Yeah. Tell me how you do that.
Is the cloud visible?
The cloud is visible through Archie's scanners.
Okay.
It looks vaguely like a sandstorm.
How fast is it?
It's moving quite fast, at about say 25 miles an hour.
Okay, I'll try to jump over it.
Okay. Real quick, John, what is your character doing?
Well, he was observing the cyborg, and he saw the cyborg go through the door, and now the two characters are going for the door.
Uh-huh.
If there's no cloud of nanites in the area, he'll burst for the door as well.
Okay.
In cat form.
You burst through, and you see the various bodies and bits of what once were bodies. And as you look down the hallway, you see the man who did all this entering a door. The door that you know only opens for the GSA agent, and that door remains. And it's just there's utter blackness beyond that door.
there anybody else in the area that's alive?
Everyone else who is in the hallway is dead. There may be people alive in the rooms.
Huh. I will approach slowly and see if he can get any kind of indications of sounds or sights coming from the other side.
Okay, from that door?
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's utter blackness, and you see nothing beyond the void.
Well, I'm going to say that he adopts the personality, the trope personality of being a cat. So curiosity will kill the cat. So he's going to have to go in. Plus, it's dark. So he's at his best when it's in the darkness. So he's going to go in.
Okay, he leaps through?
Yep.
All right. Moving back to the dynamic duo. All right, so you're trying to leap past or through the wall?
Over the nanites, I guess.
Okay.
Not really past them, but over them.
Okay. Do you have an aspect that would help you out in this situation?
Footballers don't really jump. Or do they?
They can.
Yeah, so football superstar.
Okay. I'm going to say if you spend a fate point, you can make that jump over the small gap that the nanites have left.
Yeah, I'm going to spend the fate point.
Okay. So you leap over them and sort of land on your feet and do a bit of a roll, and then you're up. You're behind them. You feel. You hear them basically turn and head towards you now, and there is nothing between you and the door except a small cat that's just leapt through.
A what?
A small cat has just leapt through the door in front of you.
Oh,
Follow that cat.
Follow that cat.
Yeah, I'm going to follow the cat.
Okay. So all of you, as you enter through the portal, you see absolutely nothing, utter blackness. But you feel as though you're standing on something. There's ground beneath you. The only changes in the only things that stand out are yourselves and the man who went in ahead of you. You are all lit up as though by quite bright light, but nothing around you is lit up. It's a very bizarre experience. And the man, the cyborg who went in ahead of you, he's standing in the middle, if middle can be used when there's no sense of distance, of potentially a large room, though you have no markers to gauge that.
All he can do is observe. Doesn't have anything to deal with it.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask the man one simple question. Who the hell are you?
He looks at you and he says, I'll deal with you in a moment. He turns around and he looks up and he shouts out, "Come out, Arthur, you bastard." And at first there's no response. But from the ceiling, from where you think a ceiling would be, a small glob of what looks like liquid silver falls down and hits the floor in front of this creature. And the glob is about 6 foot about 6 foot wide, and it sort of forms into a into a square, and from a square into a rectangle on its side, facing vertically. And as it elongates to about 9 foot tall, it starts to morph into a vaguely humanoid shape, although everything is flattened out like a mannequin. There's no face, but there are arms and legs and a chest and a body. But all of it is perfectly flat and perfectly rounded. No distinguishing features whatsoever. And from this figure, a voice emanates and says, I've been waiting for you, Doctor. I've been thinking you would come back at some point." And the cyborg, who he addressed as Doctor, looks up at this this tall figure and says, "You know why I'm here, don't you, Arthur?" And the tall figure says, "Yes, I know why you're here, but you know, when you left, I told you that if you ever came back again, I would have to kill you." And the cyborg says, "Yeah, you know, I didn't believe you then, and I certainly don't believe you now." He lunges forward and he punches forward with his right arm, and from the arm, a cloud of nanites emanates. But instead of forming into the heat haze that they were before, the nanites from the rest of his body, or from his back, form onto his arm in the form of a long spear. And he aims that straight at the tall figure and punches it through the figure's chest. But as he does so, it's like dropping a stone into a flat pond. The spear punches through the figure, and there are ripples outward like water, and then they slowly go straight back and merge back into a seamless whole again. And the figure, who we'll now call Arthur, looks down and says, "You know this won't work. This isn't even my real form. This isn't even one of my many forms. This isn't even the greatest of my many forms. There is no way that you will succeed. I told you before, I cannot bring your family back." And the figure, the cyborg, he doesn't appear to be listening. He, or at least he doesn't appear to be able to understand anymore. Filled with rage and hatred, he is attacking the simulacrum of Arthur. What are you guys up to?
Well, since we heard the conversation, right?
Yes, definitely. By the way, none of you have ever seen Arthur, or even heard his voice, or ever seen anything like this simulacrum.
Do we know of him? Do we know that name is like the big...
Oh, you know of Arthur, and you all get your orders from Arthur, but the orders come through your handlers.
Okay.
So only they have ever seen Arthur. You do know that Arthur is the AI that controls the GSA. He was created, this is all public knowledge, he was created about 150 years ago, or thereabout, as quite a normal computer program, which became self-aware. And this program started to develop itself. And eventually, Arthur presented himself to the countries of the world as a solution to their superhero problem. And of course, they tried to deal with him as they would any other superhero. They tried to destroy him. But but since he grew through the internet and grew through um, the various, since he had access to all worlds knowledge, he was easily able to defeat any kind of attempt to destroy him, and establish himself as a power, but a benevolent one, or at least a benign one. He offered the various nations of the world a choice: sanction to endorse him and his the global superhero authority, to control superheroes and to deal with them wherever they may be found, and to destroy or capture or rehabilitate any rogue supers that may be found, and to deal with the world's problems, whether they be environmental or political or anything like that. They weren't really given that much of a choice, but in the end, they did choose to see things his way. So that is what you know of Arthur. He is the mind behind the GSA. But he's not been seen in any of his incarnations by the public world in quite a while, to the point where he's, almost a myth.
I don't know, Control V. I think we need to protect Arthur. That's the boss man.
Yeah, but this is so pointless. As he said, like, this is not his, this is just a form. He can't really hurt him. So let's try to find a way to, like, incapacitate him.
While you're having this conversation, the cyborg who Arthur addressed as Doctor has been lunging at him and trying to stab him, and succeeding more often than not, but just not really doing any damage. He looks up at Arthur and he says, "You told me that they would be safe. You told me that if I cooperated that you would protect them." And Arthur says, "I told you what you needed to hear in order to come in. What happened to them afterwards is not up to me." And he reaches down Arthur reaches down his hands and grabs the cyborg and pulls him up into the air, one arm on each side of his chest, pinning his arms to his side. And Arthur looks at the rest of you and says, "Ah, I see you've managed to make your way here. Interesting. Code names Alley Cat, Control V, Sir Slipshot. I see all your records. What exactly do you want?"
Yeah, some people have died. We just, like, want to escape from here. Safety. And do you know Lisa Altman, maybe? Boss?
Yes, all handlers were evacuated yesterday.
Oh. So you knew that it's going to be an attack?
I knew 3 days ago.
Why didn't you warn us?
You are possessions of the GSA. You were in stasis. I chose to let you stay that way.
So you got a lot of broken possessions down back in the corridor, thanks to that.
If a 9-foot-tall mannequin can look uncaring and nonchalant, he does. He shrugs and looks at you and says, "I have more where that came from. The fact that you are still alive is interesting. Based on your mediocre abilities, I would have thought you would have been amongst them. This cell block is filled with Class C supers." By the way, none of you knew that there were any classifications of level of supers.
Alley Cat's going to turn back into a human,
Uh-huh.
and he's going to say, I rode to the top, and there were thousands of your agents dying at the hands of the giant robots. Are they possessions too?
Those robots will be dealt with shortly. And yes, any member of the GSA sacrifices themselves on a daily basis in order to keep the world safe. It's what we do.
He'll just turn back into a cat and clean himself.
He looks at Sir Slipshod. Are you still in the armor, Chris?
Yeah,
Okay.
I am, but I'm going to exit now.
Okay. So you turn. What does that look like, Archie? When you turn back?
Basically, think of kind of like a witch's transformation. It's sort of like a melting, but it's super duper fast. So like I go from looking shiny and nice and cool and dirty to just being some old rusty plate armor again.
Okay. And you have sustained a bit of damage, right?
Yeah, so my leg is bent up and out of place, and it is not hanging right on the leather strap.
Arthur looks at you and says, let me help you with that. And he reaches down and breaks off one of the cyborg's legs and throws it in your general direction. This being a metal leg. Based on your abilities, I know that you can self-heal. Use that.
Thank you, Big Boss. Thank you. Your calculations are correct, and I'll place it inside the armor leg. Sorry, I got my accent on there. So it can be absorbed and stuff.
Okay. All right. So
Won't work until I turn off or whatever.
Okay. He turns back to face the cyborg, and he says, "Dr. Miller, your family were killed in an attack on GSA-sanctioned houses by a terrorist organization. They were housed there at my insistence. Their deaths are not of my doing." And he looks at the cyborg, looks at him with tears in his eyes, and said, "They were there because of you. They were there because you brought me here. You could have left me outside. You could have left me to do my research in peace." And Arthur looks at him and says, "Your research has been vital here. Your research has created machines that are used now the world over. The sacrifice of your family has produced amazing results." The cyborg looks at him and says, "The sacrifice of my family is not worth any of this." And Arthur looks at him and says, "You have served your purpose. You are an asset that is no longer needed." He takes the body of the cyborg and crumples him up in his hands like you would fold a piece of paper into a ball. And just one quick shout from the cyborg, and that is all that is left, as he is crushed to death in Arthur's arms and then dropped to the floor. Arthur turns to all of you and says, "Now, shall we get back to business?"
If Sir Slipshod could cry, he would be. It would be like a tear falling out of his face.
Yes.
Yeah, boss. Yeah. What now?
Since you survived, I think I have a mission for you. Your handlers will be briefed, but just for novelty's sake, I'll give you the mission myself. You need to catch a time traveler. This may be one of the final missions you're sent on, since villains with superpowers have become increasingly rare, and the GSA will be shutting down fairly soon.
By shutting down, you mean?
By shutting down, I mean shutting down. The various organizations that we work with no longer see a purpose in GSA. And the assets that are housed here will be redistributed amongst the various law enforcement operations in the world. The rock will be landed and redistributed itself. I will seek other duties.
It is
So-
good. It has come to this.
It has.
Who's the time traveler?
Ah, that is the question, isn't it? And he looks at all of you, and you get a vague sense from him, or not even that vague, that you are really not going to like the answer to that particular question. And that is where we are going to wrap up for now.
Very good.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that was Fate Core. Someday we will be heroes. The prequel episode 1. Check out Minor Illusion for more Fate Core, and I'll be doing a review of that sometime in the near future.